Okay, so we're here today. I'm Steve Robertson from Muddy River Ag, and my colleague Roy's doing the videoing, so hope this all works out well. We just want to give everyone a bit of an idea of how to set up a Porsche Tiger 6MT, and especially the hosing. That's one of the most important aspects of getting this thing in the field and set up right. Anyway, we'll just run you through it quickly. We've got on a John Deere tractor here. Basically, you need 4 sets of remotes. So the most important one, starting from the top, is this one here. Now this one here is the single hose on its own. It goes, generally I put it in a number 4, and this must go in float. This is the most important hose for people to remember. Get this one in float and you won't have any problems with lifting and folding and all the other hydraulic functions. The next one down is in number 3 here. This one here, because it's the bigger hose, these ones are the ones that control the actual discs system on the front cutting discs. So just remember, they're the bigger hose. And then what Horsch do with the other hoses in number 2 here, what they do is they put a little insignia on there that shows a folding wing, It shows the wing fold, so obviously you know that that's the wing fold system. So you put that into, I usually put that into number 2, and then in the number 1, it's the one that you're going to be using all the time. That's your lift lower when you're turning at headlands. That's the one you use all the time, so I put that into number 1. So generally, lift lower is in number 1. Number 2, I put the wing fold. Number 3, I put the discs in, which are the bigger hose. And once again, the most important one on the machine is the single hose, and it's always got to go in float. Okay, so the next one we've got here, we'll just go through some of the other functions with the taps on this machine. You can see down here we've got a tap here. This tap, and you can see by the insignia, is the top ring packer. That's the tyre packer at the back. That's your top ring packer, and it gives you a lock and unlock. So this valve here, if you don't want the top ring packer at the back to be working, you just lock that up as it is in this position. It's locked. So if you want to unlock it, so the top ring packer's in use when you're using the machine, just turn that around and that'll be active. That's one of the taps. The other tap here, this is a field working position here, and that's road. So field, road, wherever that red knob is, that's the position that you'll be in. So when you're on the road, obviously it's folded up and it's going down the road, put that in road. It's just a safety lockout. This is another lockout valve here for when you're roading. So turn that across like that, and that's locked out when you're on the road. I like to also put this down onto this position here, so lower it all the way down. That gives you good lower your height, and it's a positive thing there, so it's up against it when you're in the road transport. Okay, so we're on to leveling the machine now. So basically what we want to do is lift the front row of discs up. So we lift these up so they're not going in the ground. We just lift them up all the way. What we then do is, it's a really good idea to get a spirit level, and for a couple of good reasons. The level is determined by the amount of clips that you've got in the rear packer cylinders here. So all the way across, they've all got to have the same amount of clips across the packer. That's what determines your digging depth at different times. Okay, and it's closed right up, so they just sit on those cylinders. The cylinder clips there on all 4 cylinders, in conjunction with the front drawbar cylinder, which I'll point out here. They have the same amount of clips in them as what the rear packer cylinders do. So what I do is go along just in the ground. We'll probably have a depth of say 10 inches there maybe, and we'll go along and we'll put the spirit level here, and we're just checking to see that front to back bar is level. If it's not level, you basically adjust that with adding or subtracting some clips out of that front drawbar cylinder. All you're doing is accounting for the drawbar height of the tractor by doing that. It's very important to have that level before you start up doing anything else. Once you get that right, you can then bring these discs down, and once again you set the depth of the discs with the coloured clips on the cylinders. Once you've got those set to your depth, and away you go. You can use the machine. If you don't want to use this, you just lift them out of the ground. If you want to use just the tines, So all you got to do is lift the disc out, use the tines. Vice versa, you can actually raise the height of the machine at the back, which will get the tines out as well as the drawbar cylinder, and just use this if you want to do some high-speed coordination on the disc side of things. Okay, so that's leveling. That's the most important part of the machine. The disc leveling system. So basically you've got a row of disc, a single row of disc across on this machine, on the 6MT. The leveling disc, what they do is take the dirt that the tine has thrown out and put it back into the machine. So here's your leveling disc here. So when the dirt comes off the tine, these discs bring that dirt back in behind the tine. Now there's some depth adjustment here. You can probably see this pin. So that's how you adjust your depth on that disc leveling system. You can have them up. If you don't want to use the disc leveling system, you can just pin them up. And you can actually lock them up out of the road hydraulically with this tap here. Some people get confused with what that tap is. They think it's to control the rear top ring packer. It's not. There's a tap on this side and a tap on the other side of the machine. These two taps control the function of the hydraulic cylinders on your disc leveling system. And by the way, that's the top ring packer. As previously mentioned on the front, with the tap up the front on the drawbar, these cylinders here, you lock that valve up, that locks this top ring packer up, so it's not in operation when you're working in the field.